Today, we're going to talk about the secret to building trust with potential coaching clients. See, here's the problem. The coaching market has changed. 10, 15 years ago, when I started out like in '07 coaching people, there weren't a lot of coaches. And if you were in a niche market like helping with relationships or mindset or something like that, it was the whole market was your own. You didn't have to worry about building trust. If people found you, they're like, oh my gosh, you're like a mindset coach. I've been looking for a mindset coach other than Tony Robbins. How do we work together? And trust was never an issue. It was really easy to build because all you had to have was a basic website, a convincing reason for them to work with you, and they would work with you. Well, the problem is things have evolved, and now there's literally tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people in every coaching niche saying the same things, showing testimonials, case studies, screenshots with celebrities, all right. They've written books on Amazon. And so we have a trust issue now where when the stuff used to work, now that every single person does it, it neutralizes the effects of it. So it doesn't matter how good a coach is, people are still saying, do I trust them? And it doesn't need to be conscious, it's very subconscious. And not do I trust them that they're a bad person, it's just like, are they the right people to help me? So we're going to talk about the 3 things you need to do right now in order to gain people's trust so that you can start getting more potential coaching clients, enroll them at a higher rate, and obviously make more money and help more people. Okay? So the first thing you need to do that what we're seeing is you need to realize that cold leads are different than warm leads. What does that mean? Warm leads are referrals. Warm leads are people that come off your social media platforms. Like if you're posting a lot on Instagram, you got lots of reels, lots of videos, stuff like that, and people watch those for 6 months and then reach out to you and book a call, they're ready to go. They're having an enrollment call. They're just like, I just want to make sure this works. Let's do it. But when you run an ad, a cold traffic ad, those people clicked an ad, and they're like, who is this person? I don't know. And next thing you know, they're on a call. They're like, I don't know who this is. Should I work with them? And so what's happening is, same with referrals, are very warm. And so the problem a lot of coaches have who are making $5,000, $10,000 a month is they're getting warm leads. They're enrolling those leads. And even though it's harder now, but then they turn on their cold leads and they can't figure out why they're not buying, why they're not moving forward. Why are they asking all these trust issues? Like, what's going on, right? So here's what you need to do. You need to realize they're different. But at the same time, they're coming together more, okay? Because there's so many trust issues, so many bad actors in coaching niches, that what's happening is the referral leads and warm leads now need to be treated almost the same as cold leads. So what is that strategy that we have to use to build the trust and do it automatically so you don't have to like manually do stuff? Well, the second step, so that's the first thing you need to realize. The second thing is, we have to have a trust building funnel. Now, as you know, there's lots of different funnels out there. And a lot of coaches focus on the simplest, easiest one to set up that gets the cheapest possible email leads, and then they still create the same trust problem. So here's what a lot of coaches do. They'll get a site and basically drive leads to a email thing so they can get an email address, send them to like a Google Doc, send them to like a quick little video. And the problem is engagement rate. Remember, you need people to consume your stuff, right? It does no good just to get an email address. So what? You got a cheap lead. If they didn't consume it and didn't engage with it, they're not going to increase their trust. So the number one metric that you need to realize and know going forward is consumption rate. How much of a consumption rate are your leads consuming what you're giving them before they talk to you on a call? In the old days, you could take somebody from an ad or wherever straight to a call. Tomorrow they talk to you like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I need. Let's do this, right? Not no more. In between that, we have to have a consumption strategy. What is that strategy? It's very simple. What we want to do is, I recommend automated evergreen webinars. They get the highest show up rates and they get the highest amount of consumption rates. Think about this, okay? If you get somebody to an ebook or a PDF, free report, something like that, how many people are going to download it? Remember, they're scrolling Facebook or wherever, Instagram, and they click on your thing, click on a coach's thing, give them their email address, get redirected. They're like, oh yeah, I'll check that out later. And then they go to their email in an hour, and they're like, who emailed me this thing? I don't want this, unsubscribe, and they're gone. Or they're just like, who is this? And they look through it, they're skeptical, and they're not interested, right? They're like, I don't know who this is. Why would I want this? I don't know what this is. What am I doing? You see what I mean? And so what I do it all the time. I'll be on Instagram or Facebook, and I'll be seeing stuff and be like, oh, that's interesting, and I'll sign up for it, give my phone number, give my email address, and an hour later I'll get a text message or an email or something like that, and I'm like, I don't know who this is, and I'll just unsubscribe. Or book a call and be like, who did I book a call with? And so what's happening nowadays is it doesn't work like that anymore to get clients. So what do we do that works? We need to get them to consume your stuff. And the best way to do that is a high value automated webinar. You don't say it's live. It's just, hey, the webinar is starting in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and go from there. Now, why does that work? Here's why. It's automated. A webinar has a lot of value. People still associate value with a webinar. And there's a little more steps to getting them to show up. And so, like for me, my show up rate's about 70%. And so I have a very high consumption rate. A lot of people go the whole way through. And so it creates a massive amount of consumption, builds a tremendous amount of trust. You think about that. If somebody goes through a 50-minute webinar, how many Instagram posts do they need to go through, or Instagram reels or whatever, or 5-minute YouTube videos to get the same consumption rate of that? So that's the second thing you need to do, and set it up, automate the thing, and it's going to make a massive difference. And so when people get your email follow-ups, they're going to remember, they're going to be like, oh yeah, I went on that person's webinar. Their emails are going to get open more, they're going to move forward more, they're going to show up to your calls more. All of this because they had a high consumption rate of your lead magnet. Okay, third thing we need to do is we need to get them ready to buy before they show up. Because here's the problem. The secret to building trust is we need to have them ready to buy before you actually have a call. So how do we do that? Well, there is a couple ways. And I want to share one of the problems that coaches have is they'll book somebody on a call. And let's say that somebody comes to your website on a Wednesday, and they book them for a Friday. No problem. That's fine. Book them for a Friday. Great. Well, here's the problem. The only thing they get from Wednesday to Friday is a bunch of call notifications, text messages, emails. Your call's coming up with so-and-so. Your call's going to be in an hour. Your call. And they're just delete. And they show up and they're like, who are you? Why'd you call me? You know what I mean? People are just so inundated now. So what we've got to do is from the time they book that call on Wednesday to the time they talk to you on Friday, we have to create a mechanism to engage them into strategic content that's going to shift their belief system, right? What are the limiting beliefs that they have that are going to cause them to not want to work with you? Why are they telling you no? Why are they not moving forward? What is it? Usually it's their insecurities about something. So how do we take those insecurities and create some strategic content so that we can send it to them in the process between the time they book the call till the time they show up, and shift those beliefs, give them that confidence to want to work with you, and show them that you are the right person to work with. Because if we do that, by the time they get to the enrollment call, they're going to be at a psychological place of like, oh my gosh, I can't not work with you. This is amazing. I went through your stuff. I went through videos. I went through webinars. This is great. This is exactly what I'm looking for. You got to be careful though, because the secret is not just give them lots of stuff. It's got to be strategic, so it sets them up so that they feel like they know you, they trust you, and they want to buy. That trumps every other strategy. Now, here's the cool thing. I have an upcoming free, no-cost webinar show you how to do exactly this. What I want you to do is click the link in the description of the pinned post, get registered for my upcoming 300-word Facebook ad method webinar, Snowball System. I've used to build a multi-million-dollar coaching company. I've used this to enroll over 1,300 coaching clients, and I've spent over $3 million in the last few years alone, 3 years-ish alone, on perfecting it. In this webinar, you're going to discover exactly how Facebook's artificial intelligence can find you buyers. You're going to discover exactly what to do, how to automate it, how to get the 4 types of ads you need to use. You can start on a small budget, what's not working that most coaches are still teaching, why this is the best strategy going forward, and how to get started super cheap so you can start getting the clients who are ready to buy, want to work with you, and move forward with you. So click that link now, and we'll see you on the other page.